I welcome you all to day 3 of webinar series Alumni Connect Our Pride, Your Inspiration, organized by the Postgraduate and Research Department of Commerce at Tiraj College for Women. Today we are so happy to welcome Ms. Sujata, the mastermind behind Chennai Gaga. It is so inspiring to know, and more inspiring because she is an Ethirajian, that the focus of her brainchild on creating conceptualized souvenirs based on our Madras. I now request Dr. A.S. Gayatri, Associate Professor, Department of Commerce, Aided, to introduce the speaker.
Good morning. It's my pleasant duty to introduce the speaker of the session, Ms. Sujata, another distinguished alumna of the department. A proud moment indeed, as Sujata has been my student, undoubtedly an outstanding one during her college days way back in 1995 in the then Evening College. Sujata Tarakesan is the founder of Chennai Gaga, a brand specializing in making uniquely Chennai t-shirts and souvenirs since 2010. It's a first-of-its-kind endeavor for the city that's still fondly remembered as Madras. Sujata is now the creative head and sole proprietrix at Chennai Gaga. Born and brought up in Chennai, she has a BCom degree from Ethiraj College for Women and a specialized post-graduation from the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers, London. She started her career in 1997 in the Commercial Department of India Cement Shipping Division, focusing on chartering and operations in ship owning and management until 2003. After a maternity break, she began freelance writing in 2005 and has had numerous articles, interviews, reviews, fiction and features published in magazines like Ritz, JFW and Jade, as well as in the Hindu newspapers, then weekly supplement Retail Plus. In 2009, Sujata conceptualized India's first ever souvenir brand and spearheads the operations of the flagship store Chennai Gaga, which is centrally located on TTK Road, Royapeta, a must-visit store by all the Chennaiites and cricket lovers too. Sujata is doubly proud as an entrepreneur, as Chennai Gaga is also now the official superstore of the Chennai Super Kings, and the store houses both Chennai and CSK merchandise side by side. CSK's Piyush Chawla inaugurated the superstore on Women's Day this year on March 8, 2020. A versatile person she is, Sujata is a good writer and plays amateur guitar. Sujata also has a private pilot's license from Executive Air Terminal, Charleston, West Virginia, USA. Proud of you, Sujata, and extremely happy to welcome you to today's webinar, waiting for a very motivating session. I also welcome all the participants and request Sujata to kindly take over. Thank you.
Warm welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much for that introduction. I'd first like to thank you and the faculty at Ethiraj College, your team, as well as the students who have logged in and who will be logging in soon. I hope you are able to benefit from some of my experiences, because I'm going to share parts of my story, as well as, of course, the brand's story, which is pretty much overlapping, and also the fact that as an alumni of Ethiraj College, there is a special bond with your college as well. Today you have so many opportunities because, it is a small world thanks to the internet, and I hope you're able to choose the best for yourself. And thanking you all for your time again, and hope we have a nice session together. So Chennai Gaga, this is a brand which the concept was formed in 2009. In 2009, I was thinking that we need to do something, and I will come to the hows and the whys of Chennai Gaga. But as such, it is a brand celebrating Chennai, and it celebrates it 365 days a year. That is our thing. So in fact, that what we do is we go Gaga over Chennai, and that is our mantra. We tell you, go Gaga over Chennai. Next slide, please. So, Chennai souvenirs. This is the theme at Chennai Gaga. When we say go Gaga over Chennai, Gaga has to be extremely crazy about something. And we thought that would be a great way to describe our feeling for our city. And we have various souvenirs. Uniquely Chennai souvenirs is what was the initial outset, our mission. But then now we do have some India souvenirs as well. And of course, with the CSK brand, we do have that merchandise as well included in our offerings. Next slide, please. So I should start at the beginning, which is Ethiraj College. I was truly empowered there. You meet so many new people when you transit from school and get into college. There are students who come from various parts of the country, as well as, of course, of the city from other schools. So this was a really great eye opener, and I had the great fortune of having really empathetic teachers, and I've had friendships which I cherish till today. And so this was fantastic, and the opportunities we received at Ethiraj, they were plenty. Even at that point, we had music, we had NCC, we had sports, we had academics, of course, for which that was the core. But we also had a great leader then, Dr. Nirmala Prasad, who is no more now. She was such an inspiration, and she truly led us. She guided us, telling us how we did not have to only look only at studies or only at something else. We could actually do everything together, a great balancing act. She recommended that, and she also recommended that we plan. Anything had to be planned and presented well. This will be such a great lesson for anybody to listen to. And I think that the opportunities that the students of today have will be really good. And I really hope that you find your forte in this, because identifying your forte is very important when it comes to, when you need to know what you need to do and whether you'll be able to make it work for you as a career. So then your forte becomes important, your passion becomes important. And now we'll play a little video for you from Chennai Gaga with love.
நம்ம வாழ்க்கையில் எல்லாருக்கும் பிடிக்காத ஒரு விஷயம் கண்டிப்பாக இருக்கும். ஆனால் நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் பிடிச்ச இன்னொரு விஷயம் இருக்குது. நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் பிடிச்சது சென்னையை தவிர வேற என்ன இருக்க முடியும்? நம்ம சென்னை.
Chennai Gaga. We just wanted to celebrate the city. A couple of years back, we made this video so that we could share it and share the joy. The thing about Chennai Gaga was it came to me on an inspiration when I used to meet a lot of people for interviews, and then there were so many inspiring stories, so that also inspired me to look for a good business idea and come out with it. With Chennai Gaga, there are many firsts. So even though it's an old concept, the thing about it is that nobody had actually done it for Chennai before. So we were kind of the first. We started in 2010. We launched the brand. So we were the first, and we have quite a few, it turned out that we have a lot of firsts in our kitty. Next slide, please. We are the first to actually brand any city in India. So, of course, India has a lot of souvenirs, pan-India souvenirs. You get, the Taj Mahal, the Little Elephant, and various other parts of the country. But as a city, this is the first time that Chennai has been branded, which is where Chennai Gaga has a first there. And also to celebrate the Tamil language, which is so rich and so deep. It's amazing, and the emotional connect to the language is, you have to be a Tamilian to know it. But we wanted to make a range of Tamil souvenirs as well. And so that also hadn't been done before on very kind of day-to-day products, utility products like mugs, T-shirts and things like that. So that was a first. And also the Carnatic music. Every December, Chennai becomes extra busy. The weather is fantastic, and NRIs, so many people come down to Chennai, and especially to experience the Carnatic Music Festival and the season as such, with so many sabhas opening up and so many wonderful singers coming in. So we needed to celebrate Carnatic music, which is such a big part of Chennai and the culture here. Also, we, as a city itself, it didn't have souvenirs, so this is a first for it. Way back in 2009 when the concept happened, this is what we thought about, that there should be a souvenir line as such. And also branding the Chennaiite. We love to be Chennaiites wherever we go, whichever part of the world we go. So in fact, the locals really identify with, there is this barcode design that you see, and that's the t-shirt that I'm wearing as well. The Chennaiite has been branded on products. And I think then you can wear your heart on your sleeve kind of thing. So this was the other part. Next slide, please. So Chennai's first souvenir shop. In 2012, we opened. In 2010, we launched the brand. In 2012, we opened the first store. Before that, we were selling through other stores. Once we opened our own store, we found our own customer base as well. And people, used to come back to us again and again, because we also focus a lot on the quality of the products. And right now, we are centrally located in TTK Road. Because that's one of the things that I should quote a friend of mine who has advised me that when it comes to retail, there are three things. And all three are the same: location, location, location. That's what he said. I'm sure it's from somewhere, but the fact is that when somebody gives you advice, certain pieces of advice stick in your head. This was one. So the location has to be perfect. If it is a retail store, if it's a back office or something like that, then it's different. You will have different parameters to decide. But this is the location is the main thing in a retail store, the accessibility. Next slide, please. So how did Chennai Gaga come about? So when I was looking for business ideas, because I was inspired by people I interviewed in my freelance writing days, I realized that there was something driving them, and the passion was fantastic. I felt that I needed to do something more, but I didn't know what. So I tried out, I thought of a product, a service, and spent some time developing it. But somehow it didn't ring a bell. It did not hit the right note. So then when I was on a vacation in Malaysia, there's another wonderful place in Malaysia called Langkawi, and a cluster of islands. So in every little island, you would find so many wonderful, affordable souvenirs, a wide range. And I was thinking, oh my God, such a small island. It's beautiful, but still it's so small, and they have so many souvenirs. I'm wondering whether Chennai has any at all. I mean, sure, we have wonderful handicrafts that definitely are important. A lot of handmade things here. But we also, the only small thing that might have been missing was the fact that the regular souvenirs were not available, and that was a gap. So then we thought, okay, let me, I think this is an idea that will definitely work. So that was how Chennai Gaga came about. So I always feel that if you want something, you got to search for it. The moment you search, you'll start finding options. So that was it. I was looking for a business idea, and then I found it, when I'd kind of taken a break from looking for one. It just hit me then. Next slide, please. So why Chennai Gaga? So if you want to do, I'd like to say that if you'd like to start your own business or your own venture, whether it's a service or product, I think a little work experience goes a long way, unless you're made for developing things from scratch and you have the grit to go with it. Otherwise, I think when it comes to launching a product, there has to be a need for it. There has to be a reasonable demand for it, which you will know in advance. So I say search, and you will find, then you find the idea, and then the fact that what does it serve? What purpose does it serve? So here it serves the purpose of being a very easy to pick souvenir. It's a theme based, it's an emotional connect brand. So as soon as you see something that is connecting you and it will be a memory for you, you just pick it up, and that is the gap that it fills. So this was why we knew that Chennai Gaga would work. This was the whole idea behind the thing. It is an old concept, but in Chennai we have so much to celebrate: the beaches, the people, there are legends here living amongst us, and the music, the cuisine, it's endless. I mean, and in the beginning, of course, a lot of people did ask, why are you restricting it to Chennai, and how will it to sustain? But it's 10 years now, and I think we have a long, we thought we might exhaust concepts because it's Chennai based, but it's not true. We have fantastic options available, and creativity is everywhere, inspiration is everywhere. We just need to be open to looking for it. Next slide, please. So here's the thing. This is a simple concept, Chennai Gaga. It's a souvenir concept. It's simple. If you go to some place and you want to, when you're leaving the place, or even if you're transiting a place, you would love to pick up something from there to either gift somebody or to take back and keep it in your home, like a fridge magnet or a coffee mug, or you want to wear a t-shirt, something like that. And you'll always remember that place. It's a memorabilia. So this is something that was easy to decide, because the idea was simple, and I think simple is always beautiful, even if it's like a plain something, even if it's just a very limited piece of information. The simplicity is beautiful, and I'd like you to remember that, because once in a while we will visit this concept. Next slide, please. So here's a picture of me with Milind Soman, the model, actor, and entrepreneur. He also spearheaded Pinkathon, which was a really good movement to spread breast cancer awareness. And the other is our model. They are both wearing a t-shirt that says, "I love Tamil." It is a t-shirt with a very simple print and a simple design. And I'd like to show you the process. This is just a little show for you to know how the print actually gets onto the t-shirt. So in this, you can see that somebody is, the printer is swiping the color onto the t-shirt in the "I love Tamil" design. It's a single color print. In products like t-shirts, I mean, they look good, but sometimes, when you think about how it needs to be, today we have digital printing, we have many options, but this is the traditional screen printing that he's doing here. Then in this, you can see in the "I love Tamil" t-shirt as such, you can see, because either it's yellow or it's white, so you just have to swipe it once. Now, in the actual process, of course, to make the color stay for many washes, they would follow more processes like a second print and things like that. Now, when we come to a multicolor printed t-shirt, why I'm getting into the product is to tell you that in a theme like Chennai Gaga, you have so many souvenirs, but you cannot actually get into the full manufacturing of every product, because souvenir range can be plenty. You can have so many products, even a chair, a table, a clock, anything could be a souvenir. So it would be a good idea to get the job work done from various units, and this is this is part of that. So this is a multicolor print. It's the same design artwork. Design is the starting point. So in this case, there are multicolors. On a mug, the representation is different. On a t-shirt, the representation is different. Now we're going to just switch to some screen printing videos of this particular t-shirt design. How they are swiping color by color to get the whole design onto the t-shirt. You will find that art is now coming to life. In a theme-based brand like Chennai Gaga, artwork is very important. The concept is very important. And while the theme is simple, the fact is we always have to worry about the saleability of that idea as well, because it is a product that you're offering. Now he's finished swiping one color, and now he will be moving to the next color of the screen print. So we have a design team, and then after the design has been finalized, it will go to the production unit where they give it. Their T-shirt is one part that they make, and the other part is the printing on the T-shirt. So they take the panels of the T-shirt. In this case, he's only doing a sample, which is why you see a panel without shape. Soon we will come upon a video where there is shape for you to understand that the T-shirt's front panel will be laid out on a screen printing table and being printed. So once you gain experience in any product or service, now if it's a technical product, then you need to spend more time on it. But when it is a theme-based product like this, where the concept is something easily that you can explain and share and understand, then it's a lot different, your approach. You need to know to focus on what you need to do. So we need to do the design, we need to do the production, and we need to ensure that the product has the right quality. So you can see here the result of that kind of printing, the kind of effort and focus it takes. It's all precision work actually. And you'll see a little panel here where I'm showing you the 4 summers. There's a little red panel design, and now you will see the beginning of that process of printing as well, and the screen printing table that I told you with the front panels displayed. So as an entrepreneur or as a business head or any organization that you are in charge of, when you understand the work on the floor, what is actually the end result is one thing, and what is the process behind it, we have to be aware of everything. It is not that you can, to present to the outside world, and when you come to a retail store, yes, that is a different ballgame altogether. But this is the product itself. This is the back end of it, the kind of effort. And when you know these things, these basic information about your product, you will be able to explain to the customer so they see the value in your product as well. Because every purchase is something where they need value for money. And when you're confident of creating that value, anything, whether it is yourself, you're a freelancer and you have a service to offer, or if you are having a product, then it makes so much sense when you know the value of it and the work that goes into it. Next slide, please. Yes. So in the beginning, when you start putting processes in place, so ideas are, I must say, ideas are easy. Executing them is a different story altogether. That is where the work is. And then sustaining it is a step higher than even executing that work. But the beginning is that you have to start putting processes in place. So in Chennai Gaga, the first step was we knew Chennai souvenirs, Chennai t-shirts, but how would we name it? So that was the big question. What should we call it? And this is the fun part. It's the beginning of the fun part. So we came across, 20, 25 names we had coined to see what could be a new brand name that we could give it. And Chennai Gaga was the one that came out on top because of the certain ring to it, as well as the fact that it described exactly what we want to convey. We are crazy about the city. So Chennai Gaga was easy. It's a young, peppy, kind of timeless name is what we assume that we could go with. Of course, a lot of people teased me about it and said Lady Gaga and things like that. But that's all good. I mean, she's an icon herself. So Chennai Gaga worked for us. The name did work for us. And right now also, when we say go Gaga over Chennai, that tagline, it doesn't get old. So I think we spent a lot of time deliberating over the name. That is the part that I'd like to share. And deciding the product line, as I said, because anything can be a souvenir, but there has to be a limit when you start with, because how much you invest in, what is the know-how, what is required, who will produce it, and things like that. And then based on searching and researching the market, you will also know what are the best products. Like t-shirts, yes, definitely themed t-shirts are always a thing. There's nothing to think about. But even then, even though it's a given, the market could be crowded. So this is where it didn't matter then because we were the first. And then developing the product. So you start with design development. So we'll have to identify designers, get them on board, explain to them. And we are the ones in charge of every design, because you can make 20 designs, but you may only produce 5, and of which 3 will be good sellers. And then the other 2 are, they may remain on the shelf. So these are the kind of things that require a lot of thought. So every step, I think, has to be full of mindful decisions. And the production, of course, you need to find the right people to produce quality products. So this will come back to your business ethics and values. You need to know whether you want to just make quick money. Of course, nobody does, because that won't last and it won't be a good thing. So we need to develop those ethics, and we also need to look for people to work with who will share the values and who will be able to deliver as committed, and do the products as per the best specification possible, given all your various constraints. Statutory and legal requirements and a business plan. This is important no matter what work you do. We need to really be aware of the paperwork that is required, and what are your legal commitments, what are your responsibilities. Apart from this business plan, which is something that should be even more highlighted, because that has to be like always in one hand. You always have to keep the business plan in one hand to know what are you laying out and what is required at every step. And then your team. So here's the thing, you could have, if you're forming your own enterprise, is it a sole proprietorship? If it is, then do you have the support system required and the knowledge required to be a sole proprietor? Is it possible for you to manage by yourself, or do you need a team? Now, the next thing would be a partnership, the option. In a partnership also, there are limited partnerships and unlimited partnerships. So you need to really be very careful about the people that you join with in partnerships or in other forms of enterprise, because you need to work with them. They are a big part of your life. So you need to make sure that you choose wisely, also because the work that you do, your forte may be something, theirs may be something else, and that's the best partnership. But you'll have a common goal, which is the business. So this is important. And even if you're going to, have partnerships, associations, or a private limited company with directors, you need to probably chalk out the rules. And I would always recommend to do everything in writing, whether it's a MOU or any other form of agreement, as auditor and financial consultants advise. That would be a good thing to do, because it needs to be on paper and everybody should be bound by it. That is one recommendation I would definitely give. Even if you join up for a job in any organization, it would be good to know what are your boundaries and what are the rules to abide by. The last but not least is, this is a perfect example. I've written the investment, whether it's initial investment or working capital, last. But it's a perfect example of not being least, because it should be the first point, it should be the second, third, fourth, because money is what you're putting in, and you need a return from the business for it. So you always need to know what you can afford or what you can raise, and how you are going to manage the funds, and what returns it will give over what period of time, and what do you need to keep it running, what you will invest back in the business. It's a rotation if it's a business. So there are so many things. When you're growing your business, these are all things when you start out, you need to know for sure. Next slide, please. So the operations. Now, when you have processes in place and you have laid out the structure of the organization, the actual operations are day to day and they will continue forever. So then you will have to think about what are the different departments. In a theme-based brand like Chennai Gaga, the creatives are important, the designs, the designers, who you work with, how many designs you churn out every month or every year. You need to have those goals, and that is a separate thing altogether, and it's one of the core areas. The product quality specifications. So these are things, the product quality and specifications are something once you lay out and once you know in the beginning, it has a long-term sort of a thing that you can follow. If you have specified that a mug has to be of a certain size, a certain quality, the print quality has to be this way. Once you have fixed that and approved a sample, which is what we do. Once the sample is approved and the production is taken up and the customer feedback. Now, the next stage of when you will probably change the specification or quality of the product is based on the feedback. If everything is well and people are liking your products and there is no complaint, and to quote a friend again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that would be great. If your product quality has reached a certain level, you don't need to change it. But if not, you can always look for things, and I will come to reinvention as well. You'll always have to look for things to improve the product, the service, and the overall approach of the brand. The product representation and presentation. So this is important. You have to make it appealing to customers, to anybody who's walking into your store or who's chancing upon your product online, how they view it. That is most important. And the channel would be retail or distribution through other outlets. That is how you could sell your products. But how you position it, what is the price, what is the quality, what is the visual appeal, all this needs a lot of thought. And that will also become part of your operations day to day. And so sales, marketing, and advertising, I've clubbed them together because obviously you're making a product to sell. And the sales are something that you always have to keep your eye on. As far as marketing is concerned, you have to create a need for your product or a need for a new design that comes up. So you have to let people know you're there. So this is that, and also it overlaps with advertising. So there's a funny saying that in business, advertising is very important, and it's like winking. If you're winking in a dark room, it's just you. Only you know you're doing it. Nobody else knows. But in advertising, when you present the product to the world, only then they know you have a product like this, and that is directly going to impact your sales. So sales, marketing, advertising of the product, that's another focus area, day-to-day operations. Next slide, please. Yes, so a major part is the customer interaction. When a customer enters your store, what do they feel? How do they behold your store? And how do they speak to you about your product? And what is the customer service you are going to give them? They may share with you that they want certain products that you don't have, and this becomes part of the feedback. They may also give you critical feedback. They may give you positive feedback. You have to take everything equally, because that is the one that is building your brand and improving your product. So I think customer service, customer interactions, all this is important. Their feedback and their testimonials are something which will give you all the energy that you need. Whenever you hit tough patches, you will know that there are people out there who love your product and who have come back and told you that they love your product and why they love your product, which also gives you the motivation to stay on top of things, to make sure that you don't dip your quality, you don't compromise. And so this is why I would say customer is king. We all know that. But this is a perfect example. When they come back and tell you, then you know this is how it is. And for a business owner, that's very important. Also, part of the operations is inventory management, which is basically all your stock. You need to keep an eye on it. You can't stock too much, then you'll be stuck without being able to liquidate it. And liquidity is money, which everybody needs all the time. And if you don't stock enough, you may lose customers, you may lose their interest. So inventory management is something that is actually very, very important. It goes hand in hand with the investment. So that is something you have to keep an eye on whenever you're entering a business like this. And bookkeeping and accounting, of course, that is a day-to-day thing. You need to know what comes in, what goes out, how you account it, is it an expense, or what other way you need to account it. There are so many things. All this will be a part of your operations. Then when it comes to auditing and checking your performance and the revenues and the profits, of course, you will have the right people already in place because you put your processes in place. And this also becomes a part of periodic evaluation of your brand. Only then you can move to the next higher level. Next slide, please. So, adversities and challenges. In Chennai Gaga, I think over a 10-year period, I have had to experience quite a few, some of which I will share now. And the thing is that I've also included this particular caricature here by a caricature artist who worked with us. It's showing his droll expression, but now I think it has another meaning because of our lockdown period and the beaches are closed, nobody can go out, and Tenga Manga Patani Sundal has to wait. We didn't mean it like this a few years ago, it was part of the fun. But right now, I think we can understand why his expression is like that. So yeah, adversities. I think when it comes to certain general challenges that everybody faces, for example, in 2015, the Chennai floods, it really affected life, not just work. It affected everything, and it was across the whole city. So when we had to reel under that 8-9 days of business, the business was closed. We didn't even have power. There were so many problems, but we all faced that and we moved out of it, out of that phase as well. And then when demonetization happened, yes, so certain things are beyond our control and they may be a reform or something like that for the greater good. But still, as a business, then you become a frog in the well, where it's your ocean. The well is your ocean, and then you need to think about how am I going to get out of this particular situation. Then you start focusing on your portion alone. So that was another thing that affected us, our business among other businesses. And then it is now COVID-19. The Corona crisis, as we call it, and we also call it Corona days because we are going through these periodic lockdowns. Again, it's for safety. But it is, I think, an unprecedented challenge. Don't know who will be left standing at the end of it. But the thing is, this is the time when there is a challenge, you get an opportunity to review things and to probably look at reinventing yourself or your brand, however it is. You have to reinvent. So this is the time that you have to look at what is important, what can you do, and whether it makes sense. So I would say that this is a universal issue right now. And then unique to Chennai Gaga are some challenges. We are a small scale model. When you are a small scale model, you will have a lot of constraints and limitations, and this will show in your day-to-day work as well. So you need to be able to overcome those with providing solutions more often and things like that. And also when you want vendors, you want suppliers to give you really good product quality, but then the number is less, and you'll have to, there are not too many people who will want such to work with a small scale model kind of venture. However, it's not impossible because that's what we've been doing. So this is the thing, because it's a small scale model, you need quality vendors, and that can be a challenge, as well as the fact that your overheads would be high or always at a level which you will have to meet. The marketing again will be part of the budgetary. You need a budget for marketing as well. That becomes an issue too when you're a small business. So for Chennai Gaga, these are the things, the marketing, the manpower, you will have to get somebody and train them well. These are all possible because you're working with constraints. You become used to working with constraints. So I think that's, in a way, it's also got a positive thing to it. That's what I said. Challenges can always be overcome. And this is where I will remember this famous line, Tamil line, Rautiram Palagu, right? It is somewhat like that. You basically convert anger into energy. So if you have a challenge and you are feeling bogged down by it, you need to convert it into a better form, like a good energy to reinvent yourself, to review, and to be very practical about things. So we are a work in progress, especially because of the Corona time now. Next slide, please. So these are some of the pictures of the customers enjoying Chennai Gaga and celebrating the Chennai merchandise with us. I think these are all precious pictures. There are so many more, but I had to kind of choose a few and then share it with you all. The thing here about when I was talking about challenges and overcoming Corona is, I think one of the things would be to look at what the customer needs today. See, those days, most of these are outdoor places. Nobody's at home wearing these. But today it will be different. You're working from home, you're staying safe. So the whole scenario has changed. So now we need to make sure that they can shop at home, from home, and stay safe. So which means our online sales is what we will be focusing on. So these are the things. And now when the customers share pictures with you, many of these pictures are not taken by me. They're taken at remote locations, like the one on the snows in Switzerland. And the other, of course, is on Elliott's Beach. And of course, we have Milan Soman again here. And the other thing about t-shirts as to why we chose that as one of our main products is it is timeless, it is ageless, and it is absolutely good for day-to-day wear. So the saleability is very high. So these are the things. When it's a product that you're choosing, it will really help to know what would be the people's need, with respect to what you have to offer. Next slide, please. So here again, actually here, one in the center on top is Vijay Sethupathi spotted in a Chennai Gaga t-shirt in one of his comedy movies. We do come across these chance encounters of celebrities wearing our t-shirts, like S.A.R. Ravind, our stand-up comedian. And then there are people who have taken our t-shirts, and there are 3 ladies standing in Colorado, USA. They have planned and worn these matching t-shirts and then shared it. Things like that. And of course, on the left, Namma Polo Varuma, proudly worn by, she's an alumni of Etheraj College, Sangeeta. So it's endless. Customer testimonial is really so precious and important. And I just wanted to share these pictures with you. Next slide, please. So here, strategic alliances for any brand or any product when in the process of reinventing and in the process of growing, it's important to chance upon or look for, you can't chance upon it. You need to really look for the correct opportunities and, join hands, make tie-ups happen. And for us, we have now tied up and we are the official superstore of the Chennai Super Kings. It is a brand which has such loyalty, and it's a great brand to be associated with, and it is our honor to be associated with the Chennai Super Kings. Hashtag Whistle Portal has been trending ever since it was formed. And the only thing, of course, now is that with IPL being delayed, it will take a little time. But the thing is that, again, as we go back to the adversities and challenges, the Corona days are there, but they are numbered because this too shall pass. Next slide, please. Yes, so we are the official superstore. This is our way of announcing with our badges here. Next slide, please. This is just to give you a glimpse of the interiors after the tie-up with the CSK office. Next slide, please. Yell love. It's unconditional. That is what you can see from our home team. Next slide, please. So this is our press release because we're the first official store, superstore. And Piyush Chawla, who's the newest king in the Chennai Super Kings, he inaugurated the store for us. Interestingly, on Women's Day, March 8th, 2020, he inaugurated the store, and it was a lovely morning. With so many people, the CSK fans, unbelievable kind of an experience, and one that I will always cherish. Next slide, please. So again, a caricature, but this time it's of me. Again, it is by a caricature artist who's sadly no more. We worked very well together, and he gifted me this caricature design on my birthday. It was really something that I had a good laugh about, and I'd like to have that on a page where I'm talking about, giving a little gyan, dozen do's and don'ts all put together. These are little things that I have learned over time, I have experienced over time, and usually I don't like to preach what I don't practice, and I've tried to do that, but some of it, I'm also a work in progress. So yeah, the don'ts, I would say, when you don't pass off someone else's work as yours and look for shortcuts, each of us has our own unique kind of thing. So we can definitely look for something which is our forte and excel in it. And even if you're working in a company or it's your own company, all these are main things. Don't be unnecessarily rude. It doesn't get anything done. It doesn't help anyone. And you need to internalize that kind of negativity. Again, don't be too negative, because life is cyclic. Like we know now, it's easy to be very negative now during the lockdowns and during this period when business is hit. But I'm sitting here and having a chat with you all, and I hope that shows that we are trying not to be too negative. Don't give up. That's something, it's advice that I'm passing on. People have told me and I'm passing it on. Friends, relatives, wise people have said it. Of course, don't disrespect anything, not your product, not people, nobody. I mean, it helps to know that these values, sometimes we need to revisit them, no matter how old you are. So that's why I've listed that. And don't lose sight of consequences. Any choice that you make, and life is full of choices, it will each have a consequence, and we need to deal with those. So that's why it helps jumping to the do's, because if you're mindful, then the consequences are something that you're already considering. And then, of course, whatever rules are relevant, you need to abide by them at any point. Like today, we have to wear masks. That is the rule. We cannot switch on the air conditioner in the retail showroom. That is the rule. These are all rules that are so relevant today. We have to abide by them, and they are there for a reason. So basically, it is to prevent chaos from taking over. And yes, do write your lists, because your to-do lists, and this is something even my friends, all alumni of Etheraj have even, they keep reminding me, did you write a list for what you need to do today? The days that you're overwhelmed, it's more important to write your lists, because when you tick them off, when you achieve those, it gives you a really good feeling. And do follow your dream, because I think in life, this is very important. You need to dream, you need to follow it. And that is the whole zest, that's how you get the zest for life. And please do fight for your rights, no matter what it is or no matter who you are. You need to fight for your rights once in a while at least. Do have fun. I think fun is very important in life. And Chennai Gaga as a brand is a fun brand, definitely. And I have learned, things from people over time. They have told me many things. One of it was that even my father has told me how to make things subtle. So if there was somebody once who gave me a feedback and said, "What are you celebrating Chennai for? There are so many, overflowing garbage bins, and it's so messy, and it's this, the traffic is like this, and all that." So I said, "But we are celebrating the city, and it is a souvenir. It is our job to be positive about it. There are always negatives, but we have to focus on the positives." And this is why I say we have fun, because we are always focusing on the positives of it. Thank you so much. I've really loved the session. I hope some of you have also gained something from it. Because of the Corona days, I'd like to say that Thirumbi Varuvom, Vendru Varuvom. We shall overcome. We will come back and we will win this crisis. This is one of our creatives we made during the lockdown to motivate ourselves and others. And so with this, I'd like to end the presentation as such, and let Etheraj take over.
Ma'am, that was beautiful, ma'am. You beautifully covered the entrepreneurial journeys and the nitty-gritties in developing a brand, ma'am. Especially the videos on printing the t-shirts gave us a clear picture as to what kind of hard work goes behind making a t-shirt, ma'am. Thank you so much. Ma'am, shall we move on to the question and answer session, ma'am?
Sure, but I'd just like to say that I'm so honored to be here. And I want to thank the college again, and the teachers, the faculty for having me back. And I want to thank the students for their time as well. This is the first day of the next lockdown. So I can understand, we are all in the same boat. So yes, please.
Yes. Question, please. What are the challenges do you face as a female entrepreneur, and how do you overcome that?
So I am still overcoming it. It is a work in progress to overcome these kind of challenges. What are the challenges exactly? One is when you've created a product which is fulfilling a need, a big part of your job is over. So that's the good thing. So that part of it is there. The challenges as such is when you meet people, you need to convince them. When a customer comes in, you need to convince them. maybe a little more convincing is what is the main challenge, I would say, for a female entrepreneur.
That's true. The next question. What do you believe, hard work or smart work?
I believe in both. And I think that there is a transition. You have to do the hard work first. If you think you're smart and do the smart work first, you may never know how to do hard work. But if you do hard work first and then realize that you need to work smartly as well. Okay, I've done enough. I'm in that position now because we have taken Chennai Gaga to so many locations. We have sat from morning, 7 a.m. to night 11 p.m. I have done it personally myself. So I know that all the hard work in it has been done, will be done if required. That's the sort of thing. But smart work is something which is the order of the day today. So I would highly recommend that you do hard work and then transition to smart work, or keep a checklist. As you're doing hard work, check whether you're also working smartly. But do not think that you can cheat the hard work. I swear that won't work.
Absolutely true, ma'am. Next question. Nowadays, women are showing keen interest in becoming entrepreneurs rather than a full-time job in spite of the challenges it involves. How do you see this?
I see that I think women feel that they are capable of much more, which is true. I mean, I'm only talking about the women. I'm not saying a man is not capable of more than what he's doing. But I think the thing is that we feel that we should not be restricted, and we have so much in us, so much talent maybe. This is my guess. I mean, this is what I feel as well, that we can do so much more. I was meant to do more. This is the basic feeling. And you know that you can do it now. You know that you definitely can make it happen. That is another thing. Women being empowered gives confidence, and that is very important. And I think that the challenges are plenty in any business. So that is something everybody knows. And when you go through school, college, you will already as a woman face challenges, and you know that. It also gives you flexibility. When you have set up your business, for example, suppose you've set up your business for 5-6 years and it's come to a small, not a plateau exactly, but it has come to a stage where you could take a small step back. Perhaps then you could time your maternity then. You could time the child bearing at that point. I'm just giving an example, flexibility. So you're always true to your job, but you can also manage your time. So I think that these are the reasons why maybe women want to be entrepreneurs more now than before.
Well said, ma'am. Next question. Where do you see Chennai Gaga in the next 5 years?
I see that Chennai Gaga is an experience. We are already working towards it. It's a product, it's a brand. But we are still on a modest level. I would think that it is the experience of Chennai Gaga that will make a difference in 5 years, in 10 years, in 15 years. It's the experience. So how are we going to make that experience happen? That is the work now. It's going to be in progress.
All the best for your work, ma'am. Next question. What inspired you to take up customized textile as a major attribute of your business?
Yes. So as I said, it's t-shirts. One, they are a particular product that people of all ages would like to wear. You'd like to wear it at home. You'd like to wear it out. It's very comfortable for the Chennai weather because it's mostly cotton. And it's reusable. You can keep it for long periods of time. And I think it was very easy to decide about the t-shirt angle. T-shirts as being the main part of this business. The customizing as such was because the brand itself is bringing out. We have all original designs. We have not just lifted something off from anywhere. We have actually created the design from scratch. Therefore, this was the main thing. So this was our vision, mission, everything. So therefore, customizing was something taken care of. The textile is the t-shirt. So this is the reason why we came up with that. It's what will sell, what people will want, and what they will always want.
True, ma'am. Good to know that, ma'am. Next question. Whom do you attribute your success to?
I have had really good sources of inspiration in life, in work. We've really been able to, come across so many people. As I said, if you search, you will find. When you start asking people, then you start getting so much of their stories into your life, and all that helps you to hold on. So holding on is the main thing. How do you make sure that you're strong, you're going from day to day? You need strength. Success needs strength. So, I mean, everybody has it in them. It's not that anybody will lack it. Every human being will have it. So, therefore, it's not just me. I think everybody is success. That's it.
Okay, ma'am. Next question. Though accessibility and placement of the shop are main parameters to attract customers, what are the other ancillary parameters to be followed to develop the customer's interest for a product?
So, can you please repeat this question?
Though accessibility and placement of the shop are the main parameters to attract customers, what are the other ancillary parameters to be followed to develop the customer's interest for a product?
So the thing here is the accessibility and placement. I won't call them actually the main parameters. They are crucial when you have a retail store. So this is a product-based business and an experience. But the thing is how you present it. That is only one presentation through a retail store. And a retail store, if you get into retail, then you have to worry about the location and the accessibility. But even otherwise, if you're online, for example, you're accessible. You're just there on the internet. You're accessible. So that's not the problem. Why should people be attracted to you? The ones, your target audience it comes to again. Who does your product serve? So the people who love Chennai would like to see this product, and that is how it goes. The product drives it. If your product isn't good, if your designs aren't good, then the main parameter will not be how accessible you are. You could be in the middle of everywhere, but then you have to have the best to offer.
Okay, ma'am. Interesting to know that, ma'am. Next question. If you had a choice between two superpowers, being invisible or flying, which one will you choose and why? Out of the box question, ma'am.
I would choose flying because I can actually visualize. So the thing here is, as ma'am mentioned, I had the fantastic fortune of learning to fly a plane. And I still remember the feeling I had when I was high above in the sky, all alone in the plane, looking down on the landscaping and the world. And it was such a fantastic feeling. I could be there forever. There was I didn't really want to land the plane, but I had to, otherwise it will run out of fuel. So it was, that's the same thing I would think. If I were invisible, maybe I could snoop on people and things like that, but that's not my thing. I'd rather fly, look out, meet people, kind of explore things. That would be a much more way of expressing your freedom than invisibility. This is just, I'm also telling you just, as in a flow.
That's a fantastic field, ma'am. The next question. You have come up with so many categories in merchandise. Which one is your favorite and why?
Actually, they are all my favorites because I chose those categories.
I understand, ma'am.
If it's a tea coaster, it's nice to see it on your table, and it also protects your table from the glass and paper. That is one. The other thing is, if it's a fridge magnet, it's easy to pick up. Yeah, it's lightweight and you can just take it, and you can always have it on your fridge when you're cooking or when you are entertaining people. It's something pleasant to look at. T-shirts I've always loved. As a teenager also, I loved them. I don't know why. I just had a craze for T-shirts. I think it is the cotton and the feel of it, and what it shows is that you are free and you can be yourself. I feel that's what the T-shirt tells you. So that is why T-shirts, and we have a separate range for kids as well. We have given full respect to the little humans and made sure that they have their own collection, which is not shared by the others. So yeah, what I'm saying that is that's another product line which most people will not offer. Even CSK merchandise, you will find T-shirts for kids, especially at Chennai Gaga. So these
So-
are some of the coffee mugs are daily use. So this is the thing. We have to be high on utility, and the pricing also has to be
True.
reasonable. So because of that, these are some of my favorite products, and cloth bags as well.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Awesome, ma'am. The next one, you have come up with so many. Can we have the next question? With so much competition in the market, what makes Chennai Gaga stand out?
It's a really big world that way. There's space for everybody. What stands out, what makes Chennai Gaga stand out is the theme and the quality. So the concept is definitely something important. And of course, the fact that the quality and the pricing is absolutely, I won't say competitive alone. We are on our own trip that way. I mean, I'm very confident about it. So I would think that this is what it is. And our customers are also pretty loyal. That is there. We get new and old customers. In a day, we get half of the people who walk in are old customers who are coming back, are regular customers. And other half are brand new people who see us online and come in.
Awesome, ma'am. Ma'am, that was the last question. Thank you so much for the wonderful session, ma'am. Now I request Dr. A.S. Gayatri, Associate Professor, Department of Commerce, aided, to give the vote of thanks.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Department of Commerce, Ethiraj College for Women, I place on record our sincere thanks to Ms. Sujata for the excellent session, which I'm sure would have left all our dear students highly motivated. I also thank you for acknowledging the role of your alma mater in your personal development. Entrepreneurship is becoming the order of the day, and your experience that you've shared will definitely prove a guidance to all the entrepreneurs to be. It was a pleasure having you with us, Sujata, and I thank you for spending your valuable time with our students, to whom it can make a huge difference. A very innovative initiative by you. It's been a long way before where you are now, and God bless you, Sujata, in all your endeavors, and may you be successful in all your ventures. Thank you once again. I thank all the participants for their interaction, making the session a truly valuable one, and take this opportunity to thank the enterprising team, Mrs. Rajalakshmi and Mrs. Sushma, the organizing secretaries, and Mrs. Shruti and Mrs. Shobana, our technical strength. Thank you all once again.
Thank you, ma'am. That brings us to the end of day 3 of webinar series, Alumni Connect, Our Pride, Your Inspiration. Let's connect tomorrow, same time, for the 4th session. The feedback link will be posted in the live chat and in the description of the video. One for the faculty, another one for the students. I repeat again, the feedback links will be posted separately, one for the faculty, another one for the students. Kindly ensure that you fill the correct feedback link. The link will be open only for 1 hour. I repeat again, the link will be open only for 1 hour. Let's meet tomorrow. Have a good day.